Welcome back. Today we're reading the next chapter in our Jesus Storybook Bible.
The Captain of the Storm. The Storm on the Lake from Mark 4 and Matthew 8. The sun was going down. The air was warm and still. "Let's go across the lake," Jesus said to his friends. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired. So they left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat. Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap. As soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell fast asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake. Everything was perfect, just right for a nice, quiet sail. They were only about halfway across when out of nowhere, whirling winds swept across the lake, fierce and strong, like a hurricane. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky. Thunder roared right overhead. The storm blew the water into towering waves that hurled the little boat up, up, up. Then it sent it hurling, crashing back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffeted and tossed and turned, back and forth and up and down and left and right and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was sleeping. Now, Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this one. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control their boat. This storm was too big for them. But the storm wasn't too big for Jesus. "Help!" they screamed. "Wake up! Quick, Jesus!" Jesus opened his eyes. "Rescue us! Save us!" they shrieked. "Don't you care?" Of course Jesus cared, and this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and save them. Jesus stood up and spoke to the storm. "Hush," he said. That's all. And the strangest thing happened. The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that had made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus, and they did what he said. Immediately, the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped quietly against the side of the boat as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-torn friends. "Why were you scared?" he asked. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves, and into their hearts came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said, because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus' friends had been so afraid they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, then they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how big the storm.
Have you ever felt like that in a storm? Have you ever been afraid of storms? Or maybe it's not storms for you. Maybe it's something else. When I was little, probably your age, I dealt with a lot of fear. I was afraid of a lot of things, and I've learned that fear is an awful way to live. Fear does not feel good on the inside. So I asked God what to do with my fear. You know what he taught me? 2 things. Number 1, bring it to him. So I learned to go, "Dear Jesus, I am really afraid right now, but your will is for me to live in peace. Would you exchange my fear for your peace?" And he's always done it. Number 2, he has taught me that just like Jesus did, I am to speak to the storms in my life and say, "In Jesus' name, you need to quiet down and be peaceful, because you are not supposed to be causing the problem that you are causing right now." and you speak to it in Jesus' name, having full faith that you have what you say. Because you know what? Storms don't just know Jesus' voice. Storms know God's children's voice who come at them in Jesus' name. Because Jesus, as our big brother in the faith, gave us the same authority to speak to storms and evil like he did. It's really awesome. But I want you to know through this story, you do not have to be ruled by fear for your lifetime. There is a way to walk every day in peace, and peace feels really good on the inside. Thanks for joining me here today. There might just be an unexpected story that pops up sometime soon, so you can be expecting a little surprise on the horizon. I hope you like surprises like I like surprises, and now you have something to look forward to. I'll see you back here very soon.